Morning, everybody. Come on in. Got a busy day ahead of me today, so I'm gonna make a real quick meal. I'm sure I have probably done this one before, but the sides are gonna be different. I'm gonna do some home style meatballs. I'm not gonna do a whole pile of them. And the reason I'm cooking on Friday, which is one of my no cook days, the babies are here, so I gotta have food for them. They need a meal. I believe in a balanced meal for children, whether they eat all of it or not. So chopped up some onions and put them using this particular pot today. You know what? I gotta buy some more smaller pots. Oh, sorry about that. That just slipped out of my hand. Anyway, I'm gonna saute these onions up, and that back there, I fried them some. We had fried food last night, which is a no-no, except, kids love French fries, so I made them some home fries, y'all. So anywho, these onions here, I'm just going to let them get good and sauteed up, and then I'm going to make a gravy, and it's going to be a real simple home-style meatball. So I bought these from Sam's Club, I believe, 5-pound bag. They are Casa. Ooh, I'm not gonna butcher the last name, but Casa is what they're showing here. Okay, so these are 1.5 ounce meatballs. They are home style, and I'm gonna make a brown gravy to go with them over some, rice. They love rice and gravy, and then I'm gonna do a little vegetable medley. So hang on there for a minute, and when I get ready to make the gravy, for those of you who don't know how to make gravy from scratch, or who are still skeptical about it, we're gonna do. So the main thing on this one really is gonna be how to make this homemade gravy from scratch. So I'm gonna let those onions cook a little bit longer, because right in that pot I'm going to pour some flour. I'm using 3 tablespoons of flour. That should make enough gravy for these meatballs. Okay, and I tell you, my family like a lot of meat, a lot of gravy on whatever they're eating. The rice is almost ready. I mixed some yellow, and I got jasmine in there. Somebody asked me, why do I like jasmine rice so much, and the reason being, it has an effervescent floury taste to it, and I just love it. And especially when you're doing Oriental dishes, it just makes it taste so good. I need to add a little bit more water to this. About 1/4 of a cup. But remember, I told you, when you're doing your rice, don't follow me on that one, because I don't know. I don't see a reason to measure rice, but I just go ahead and cook it. Follow the packaging. Okay. I've also got some frozen leftover meatballs. That's why I know I've done these not too long ago. Had some leftover from another time. That's why I tell you about leftovers. I've got about 8 meatballs on here that were frozen. I dare not throw away. I just don't like, I'm not a stingy or cheap person. I just don't believe in wasting, because it bothers me to know that there are people somewhere that may not even get a balanced meal. So I try as best as I can not to waste food. I will feed you from here to yon, but please don't waste food. So anyway, let me come back. I'll be right back in a minute. These onions should be finished sauteing. They're almost there. Just another couple of minutes, and I'll be right back. Okay, y'all, I went ahead and took my onions out. They're sauteed enough, and I'm going to use that same oil in that pan. I've got about 1/4 cup of oil in there, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to dash in 3 tablespoons of flour. And that should be a plenty to do what I'm going to do. Here's for gravy. So I took the onions out so that you could see the consistency. And those few little brown ones in there is not going to hurt a thing, because we're going to make some dark brown gravy this morning here. So all I did was pour. You see what it should look like? About 1/4 of a cup. And if you need to add a little more, if it gets thick on you, just add a little more flour to it. And what I mean by thick, if the oil in the flour does not stir like you want it to stir, or gets too stiff on you, just add a little bit more oil to it. Add a little bit more oil to the mix. Okay, as you see, it's cooking right along. You can have the heat medium high. Don't have it too high because you don't want it to burn. You see, it's just a real light beigey color now. But we want that. We want a brown gravy for these meatballs. I think the last time, from looking at what they look like, the ones rather that I kept as leftovers, it looks like I might have made something similar to Swedish meatballs. So you want this flour in that grease. You want it to get dark, and it's gonna take a few minutes. Again, it's like making a roux. You just have to watch the bottom. See, you have to watch the bottom. See at the bottom of that pan? You have to watch that. See that? It'll burn on you if you let it. So, and you know what? In my cookbook, I'm talking about cooking is not only seeing. You have to see it, smell it, feel it. You have to feel food. Now this is getting dark on the bottom, so in a few minutes, I'm going to have to go ahead and add the water to it because I don't want it to be burned. And when it gets a little bit dark like that, it has a certain flavor to it as well. I'm going to back the heat down off of it. And you'll see, again, see how the bottom of that pan, if you don't watch it, it'll burn on you. That's not burned, it's just dark brown. But I want most of my gravy to be that color. So what I've done is I've backed the heat way down so it'll continue to cook, okay? Now, it's going to be, I could put more because I've got a real liquid flow there. I could put a little bit more flour in it, which I think I'm going to do because of the size of this pot. And I'm looking at what I need to do to cover this rice. I need to put a little bit, I'm going to put another tablespoon of flour in there. Okay, I got my flour container. You know, it's almost time to refill. Just throw another, just like that. I'm glad I had the opportunity to do that just to show you how simple it is. Well, you can't really subtract. You can add more. But you see, again, when you're cooking now, you have to watch, you have to be observant as to what you're doing. And I'm going to do this entire tutorial on this gravy, so anybody that doesn't have the time to watch, hope it doesn't run too long. Because you need to know how to make brown gravy. See there? Again, that's not burnt, it's just dark brown. And I want it to get a little bit darker. So you have to keep backing the heat, and you can't have that heat too low, otherwise it doesn't do what it's supposed to do in terms of browning. So you just have to watch gravy. Making gravy is just not for the faint of heart. Sometimes it gets real sketchy in there. And like I said, you have to learn the smells of food so that you know when stuff is cooking. I can smell the way it smells when it's cooked enough. For instance, if my cornbread is brown enough, I can smell when it gets brown enough. Choose that right there on there. I want this a little bit browner. It's getting dark, but I want it a little bit browner. So I'm going to go away and I'll be right back. Okay, that gravy is browning and darker, and I've backed the heat all the way down again. Look at the bottom, and that's your sort of your litmus test. Let me just say this too about making gravy. The heavier the pan, the better off you're going to be gravy-wise as far as how long you can leave it in there, because a thin pan is going to burn it up right quick. A thick pan, like a cast aluminum pan, as I call it, a thick pan, it will allow your gravy to brown longer. So we're going to go ahead and make this gravy. And what I'm going to do is pour, let's see. First we're going to make sure, back that heat off a little bit, because gravy bubbles and splats whenever you put the water into it. So we're going to start with a cup and a half of water. So about 2.5 cups of water. Okay. This is a deep pot, so it won't be all the way up to the top, y'all. And it's going to cook into that flour. Mixture is going to cook into that water. and we'll see if we need to add more. And as we're doing that process, we're going to go ahead and start adding our seasoning. So this is a steak seasoning. A good tablespoon of that, and y'all know I'm going to put complete seasoning in there, right? So a tablespoon of that steak seasoning. And we're just gonna go ahead and squeeze. We're gonna put a tablespoon of complete in there. Let's get the other side going. The real side. Get that complete seasoning going in there. And we're gonna put a teaspoon of black pepper in there as well. A teaspoon of black pepper. And we're gonna put some onion powder. And of course, I'm gonna throw those onions back in there. Put a teaspoon of onion powder in there. And give it a stir. It's cooking. It'll cook up in a minute, and it'll thicken up in just a minute. But you see, I got my dark brown gravy. Is what we're getting at here. And we just stir. And we'll give it a chance to boil and see where it is as far as the thickness is concerned. And we'll go ahead and pour the onions back in there. Yes, sir.
Dexter said,
I can't do nothing today. Kevin said, nope, I'm going to be on the base all day today, all day tomorrow. Ask her if there's any way Lauren's able to spend the weekend with her. My boss is rescheduling manager. I'm going to be going, I'm going to leave here tonight.
Call him, please.
Okay, at 11 o'clock, and y'all probably won't see me till 2 o'clock in the morning because we're decorating the base. And then tomorrow night, I'm going to be on the base all day. So I already told Lauren that yesterday. Okay. Why he text you instead of me? Oh, Lord. Now I got to cut that out. Oh. Okay. Now we're back. Okay. We're back in here. I was trying to multitask. Okay. There we are. And as you can see, it's getting a little bit thicker, The more it heats up, get her now. She can get every milk for you. Didn't mean to let y'all watch the paint dry, but I was off to the side cutting veggies that I'm going to be stir frying. So we're going to do some zucchini and some broccoli is what I got in the fridge, and of course I got carrots, so carrots will go into that. The gravy is, I'll just let you watch it cook. Actually, I didn't mean to let you watch it cook that long, but anyway, y'all get the idea. The gravy is ready for the meat, so I'm gonna go ahead and get the meatballs are already fully cooked, so I'm gonna drop them in. I've got my some leftover meatballs. I got about 8 leftover meatballs, so they're gonna go in. They're frozen, and of course I'm gonna put in and these are pretty much bite-sized meatballs, so I'm gonna go ahead and put them in. Not a whole pile, because last time I had some left over. You know, when you're cooking, you want to make sure you have enough. So, you know, you gauge how many you want to put in. Okay. So we got the meatballs in, and what I'm going to do is just let them sit and got them in that gravy. And what I'm going to do is just let them sit in there and cook for about 45 minutes, and then I'll put a lid on them, and they will be finished. Okay, so I will be right back. Okay, y'all, I'm back. I'm going to go ahead and get ready to do these mixed vegetables. Very simple process. Of course, you know, I've already got my veggies cut. The carrots are waiting off to the side there. Now this grease is really hot, and I'm going to put butter, but not right this minute. I'm going to put some butter, margarine, whatever you want to call it, in there. Just for extra flavor, and of course my usual seasonings. And I did not chop an onion to go in there so far, but I'm getting ready to do it right now because I just realized that I didn't chop one. Fresh onions always add that extra little bit of flavor that you need in that dish when you're cooking most anything, really. Some people don't like onions. I don't know. They just don't. You know, a lot of things that people don't like, but I cook with onion. And, excuse me, I cook with onion. Onions are actually really healthy. I'm going to have to look it up. I can't remember right now. But they have some very good, profound nutritional value to them. I'm going to go ahead and drop in the broccoli, and the zucchini squash is what I'm actually cooking. So, I'm starting them out in the oil. About a 1/4 cup of oil. This is not a big skillet because I'm not doing a big old pan, so nobody's going to eat a big old... They will eat rice and meat until the cows come home. Okay. So, I'm going to go ahead and chop some onion in there. A fourth of a medium, of a large onion. This is a big old onion. And just about a fourth of one. I don't need a lot of onion in there just to get that flavor. I'm going to drop in a 1/4 stick of butter. And what I'm trying to do here is to get it like stir fry in the beginning. And then, of course, I don't mind the condensation in there because we want that juice to permeate all these veggies. And I'm going to throw in a handful of carrots. I thought carrots was pretty. Look at that strange shaped carrot. I don't know what that was about. Cross mutation, y'all reckon? Okay, then I'm going to sprinkle it with a little bit of complete seasoning. You know, I have to put my complete... That one had a little dark, so I can get that one out of there. Give me a teaspoon of complete seasoning in there. I'm not going to put a lot of seasoning on because, you know, veggies have their own natural flavor. And then I got a few more to put in. I sort of left them big and chunky. I didn't cut them. If you notice, my broccoli is not cut up real fine. I kind of left it sort of chunky. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to let these pan fry. And I've got them on medium-high heat. Just steeping away in that grease. And I'm going to go ahead and do that a little bit. And just chunk them around a little bit. And I'm going to put the rest of that, just hit the tops of those a little bit more with the complete seasoning. So altogether, in this pan, I'll say this about 4 cups of veggies. I've got about couple teaspoons of complete seasoning on there. And I'm going to hit them with a little bit of onion powder, half a teaspoon of onion powder. Not a lot, guys. And of course, I'm going to hit them with a little bit of, about a teaspoon of garlic powder. All these seasonings here are healthy seasonings, salt content, adobo seasoning, half a teaspoon of that. And when all of that sort of melts down and liquefies into the juice, and half a teaspoon of black pepper. Okay, so the veggies are on, and that's basically it for the veggies. You can use other seasoning. If you don't prefer some seasonings, you can leave them out. If you prefer others, you can add them. But the basic meal is there, right there. I'm going to cover those in a few minutes and let them continue to cook for about 20 minutes. I'm not going to let them get all wilted up. Because, wilted up broccoli just isn't really that good. Not even cute. So I think it's forming a little bit. Let's see what's doing down at the bottom. You have to check the bottom of the pan now to make sure that if there's not any condensation down there at the bottom, it's forming a little bit of liquid, because what you want to happen, you want to have a little bit of liquid to sort of drizzle over those veggies when they are finished cooking. So, anywho, this meal is about finished as far as prep. There's the rice, it's all done. I can go ahead and let y'all just finalize this one. So this meal is done. And I'm going to say this meal takes a good, we're going to say like 30 minutes. This is another 30-minute meal. Nice and hearty. Something great to leave on the stove for the family when you're going to be away. And I am going to be away a lot this weekend. So I'll feel real good. My